fourth year student at Western University, currently double majoring in international relations and SASAH. And over the past year, I had two incredible internships. I was a digital intern at The Walrus, which is a not for profit magazine and media organization that focuses on inspiring and sparking conversations on current political, social, and cultural issues. And over the summer, I was a field marketing intern at Ally Global Marketing, which is a international full-service marketing agency that specializes in entertainment, culture, and lifestyle branding. And both internships were really focused on storytelling, which I personally love. And they taught me a lot about communication and creativity. But most importantly, they taught me a lot about how to build and connect with different communities. And they helped me understand who I am as an individual and as a professional. And so this is my little presentation on these two incredible experiences. So when I joined the Walrus as a digital intern in January 2025, I was definitely super excited, but I also felt quite nervous about this opportunity. I felt underqualified for the position, and I think that a lot of young professionals can resonate with this feeling. But I just kept reminding myself to trust my skills and to take this as an opportunity to learn and to just fake it till I made it, and that's exactly what I did. A lot of the initial anxiety I felt was swept away by my incredible bosses, Chris and Magda, that really took the time and patience to train me and the other intern and answer any of the questions we had. And another thing that really helped me was sitting down with Magda and setting out a clear plan and set of goals that I wanted to focus on and reach by the end of the internship. And so I remember back then I really wanted to hone my writing skills. I wanted to learn more about Google Analytics. And I just wanted to learn more about what it meant to work in the journalism world, if that makes sense. So that was kind of my focus. And in terms of Google Analytics, it was a really frustrating process, but I was under the guidance of Chris, who really took hours out of his day to teach me and help me practice. And now I can confidently say that I can create a Google ad campaign, I can interpret data and create charts out of it. So that was really satisfying to learn. And I'm really glad I did, and I'm really glad I took the time to persevere. And now that's something I can brag about during my job interviews, which is great. And another great thing I learned was how to write social media copy for articles. And at the beginning, I thought it'd be a silly, quick exercise, but I soon learned that that would not be the case. It was actually quite frustrating to learn how to properly do it in an efficient way. I had to consciously learn how to read in between the lines and interpret what the author was trying to get across and how to communicate it to different audiences on different platforms. But again, it was really satisfying to learn, and I'm glad I did. That's a skill that I use to this day in both my academic and personal life, knowing how to summarize content and just getting the pulp out of it. And one of my greatest accomplishments was definitely proposing to develop a social media strategy for TikTok to attract younger audiences. So me and the other interns started scripting and drafting and recording and publishing TikToks inspired by articles that we thought would be interesting to the Gen Z audience. And that was really fun. It was one of the best experiences. Me and the other intern got really close to one another, so that was also great. And I really learned how to manage my time and my tasks and how to communicate with my colleagues and with my bosses on whether I'd be able to deliver it on time or if I needed help. And that's something that has definitely helped me to this day. And so it was really important for me, this experience overall. I developed a lot as a professional and as an individual, as I mentioned before. And it also came with other great opportunities. I got to volunteer at the Walrus Gala and meet incredible, super interesting people. And so I would recommend 10 out of 10 experience. This summer, I worked as a field marketing intern at Ally Global Marketing in Toronto, and honestly, it was one of the most exciting and chaotic experiences I've ever had, obviously in the best way possible. The pace was fast, the projects were constant, and the energy was contagious. And from my very first week, I felt like I stepped into this world where creativity and quick thinking had to happen all at the same time. So it was definitely overwhelming, but that's what kept it fun. So, going into the internship, I set a few personal goals for myself. I wanted to gain hands on experience in publicity and event marketing. I wanted to strengthen creative marketing capabilities. I wanted to improve communication and reporting skills. And more importantly, I wanted to learn about the film industry and how big studios like Warner Bros., Universal Pictures, and Searchlight brought to life their films through local campaigns. And so I shared these goals with my local supervisor, and with the other interns, we kept checking in to see how things were going. I learned so much from the team just in general. Everyone was so open, eager to teach, eager to learn. They were collaborative, and most importantly, they were willing to help, even on the busiest days, which made everything so much more worth it. I definitely improved my communication skills, and there were obviously ups and downs in how collaborative I was with my other interns. But at the end of the day, we just got over our differences and we managed to collab in a very efficient way, which was really satisfying. And so once I got more comfortable, I started taking on real deliverables. I helped write promotional copy, organize events, and reach out to local businesses to build partnerships. It was the first time I got to see how movie marketing strategy comes together from start to finish, and how every email, every pitch, and little detail plays a role in a bigger picture. So throughout the summer, I worked on a bunch of cool titles such as How to Train Your Dragon, Megan 2, Bad Guys, and Nobody 2. But the one that really stood out to me was Jurassic World Rebirth. The campaign was huge and so much fun. I helped brainstorm ideas for national campaigns, and I also reached out to community business cafes, um, businesses to create like grassroots initiatives. So I reached out to cafes, gyms, playgrounds, you name it, and I pitched creative tie-ins that could bring dinosaurs to life outside of the theater. So one day I'd be writing emails, and the next I'd be figuring out how to create a dino-inspired donut for a special, like timely promotion. All of it was very unpredictable, fast-paced, and a little crazy, but I loved every second of it. So of course there were challenges as well. Deadlines were especially tight, and time management became essential. And sometimes ideas for a specific plan would change overnight just because we had to readjust our deliverables and our goals. But that's also what kept things interesting. And that's also where I learned how to trust myself, to stay calm, keep communicating, and problem solve on the spot. I think that's where I really built my professional confidence, not in the easy moments, but in the ones where I had to take initiative and figure things out without overthinking it, because again, time was essential. By the end of the internship, I realized that marketing isn't just about promoting something, it's about creating moments that people remember. And it's about connecting people through shared excitement and turning a simple movie release into an experience. And so when my time finished at Allied, I definitely developed sharper skills, a thicker skin for deadlines, and a much better sense of what kind of test creative environments I want to be part into the future. Looking back, these two internships were inherently different, but they did teach me the same thing, that storytelling is inherently about connections. At the Walrus, connection meant slowing down, understanding people, culture, and ideas on a deeper level, whereas at Allied, it meant creating moments that brought people together through the thrill of a movie and through a campaign that could become a shared experience. So, through both roles, I learned to balance creativity with practicality, to manage deadlines, and to communicate clearly. And most importantly, I also got to know myself better. I've always been detail oriented, but sometimes to a fault. But these experiences taught me how to keep and maintain a healthy rhythm for myself and for my colleagues. More than anything, I built confidence in my ability to adapt and in my ability to keep up with my goals. Whether I was writing for a national magazine or brainstorming with a film studio, I learned that I could find my footing anywhere as long as I had the will to do it. And I have to say that my success in these two internships was widely based on my two major on SASAH and International Relations, as they continuously teach me how to be creative, how to be responsible, how to meet deadlines, and how to analyze different aspects of communities. And so, if there's one thing I could tell the next student that would like to take on any type of internship or experiences, is to always say yes, even when it's intimidating. Say yes to these new opportunities, say yes to a new challenge, say yes to becoming a new version of yourself. And so both internships pushed me beyond what I thought were my limits. And I think that's why I grew so much during this time period. Um, and so, yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. Looking back, these two internships were inherently different, but they did teach me the same thing, that storytelling is inherently